Good morning. What a magnificent sign. And haven't we waited a long time for it? It's fantastic to see you all here today. It's a very, very special occasion for the university and for all of you as individuals. So I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. And I declare the congregation open.
Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you these candidates who have been found worthy to be admitted to the degrees for which they have been awarded. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and can I just remind you that when I read their names, I'll be reading their thesis as well, so applause after the thesis, please. Mufalayat Toyin Famudimu, development and validation of a bioluminescence assay for high-throughput screening of potent and rapidly cytocidal compounds against intra-erythrocytic Plasmodium falciparum. Rebecca Louise Morgan, uncovering the role of heparan sulfate proteoglycans in small extracellular vesicle production, potential tools for optimized regenerative medicine therapies. For the degree of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, and Master in Philosophy. And again, I'll be reading a thesis for each. Eleanor Louise Cross, understanding the extent of and reasons for diagnostic delay in inflammatory bowel disease. Bridget Margaret Hope Kemble, comparison of cough plates and cough swabs for detecting respiratory pathogens in non-expectorating children with cystic fibrosis. Simran Singh Palmer, the association between osteoarthritis and invasive management strategies and clinical outcomes following acute myocardial infarction in electronic health record data. Bethany Jane Seal, osteoarthritis and premature mortality, pathways for hand, hip, knee and foot osteoarthritis. James Carlisle Walker, environmental ultraviolet B exposures and measured health outcomes in English children. For the degree of Master in Philosophy, Sarah Ann Lawton, automated check-in data collection, ACDC, an investigation of utility, acceptability, and effectiveness in general practice. That's the end of the ones with theses. For the degree of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, and Master in Arts, Benjamin Arman. Charlotte Emma Galvin. Alexandra Macreades. Bethany Jade Navasi. Tony Alexandra Robinson. Radha Sharma. Sinead Wright. For the degree of Master in Arts, Bruno Davoro. Hassanatu Hawkins. Paisley Marie Hibbert. Lauren Victoria Horbury. Mohammed Adil Abbas Khan. Cleopatra Nokathula Madziwa. Cosmos Ntamni Mbua. Olobunkola Temiteo Oso. For the degree of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, and Master in Science, the winner of the Ian Chester Prize for Postgraduate Anatomy 2018-2019, Irega Balakrishnan. Scott Ryan Bates. Strathan Dino Chun. Charles Peter Horner. Kaina Thine Emwe U. Eloise Victoria Sludden. And the winner of the Ian Chester Prize for Postgraduate Anatomy 2019-20, Yasmin Zaremba. For the degree of Master of Science, Kiran Akmal. Stephanie Rose Banner. Elaine Catherine Kranenberg. Jeanette Ann Grocott. Melina Gunawan. Johanna Mutinta Yonker. Smita Keele. Adele Laura Lindsay. Justin Alexandru Mihot. Erin Rose Puttock. Robert Edward Stevens Spate. Laura Vivian Steele. Rachel Judith Viggers. Jessica May Waller. Nigel Glyn Williams. Marcus Williamson. Catherine Elizabeth Griffiths. Alita Jane Agnolo. Sorry, just a bit of lubrication. Okay. For the degree of postgraduate diploma, Joseph David Thomas Asprey. Laura Rebecca Kirby. And the winner of the overall Outstanding Student Award 2020-21, Sharma Nataraja. For the degree of postgraduate certificate, Balasubramanian Murali. Avranil Talapatra. May I ask the students that have just been conferred to stand?
By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor, I award them the degree for which they are listed.
Please be seated.
It's a great pleasure to welcome you once again to this ceremony, which celebrates the achievements of our students who do so much while they're at Keele and also achieve so much when they leave. Before I say any more, can I first of all just give the apologies of your head of school, Professor Christian Mallon, who I know desperately wanted to be here today. But as is the way of the world at the moment, sadly, he tested positive for COVID yesterday and is not able to be here. But I'm sure he's watching from hopefully a chair rather than a bed. So what a journey you've all been on. We have graduates in the room from 2020 and 2021, and your experience at university has been different from most of those that have gone before you and will be different from most of those who come after you. 2 years ago, we were still in the early stages of lockdown. We might feel now that we still don't really understand COVID-19, but at that stage, there was a genuine fear of everything. And it's almost hard to remember actually how quickly the changes came. For most of us, we weren't meeting people except by video link. We couldn't get hold of sanitizer, and we weren't sure what we were allowed to touch and what we weren't allowed to touch, and we were only allowed our daily walk and a trip to the supermarket. But some people did need to go to work, and many of you in this marquee today were part of that in the months following the first lockdown. You were a critical part of the COVID response, and you probably had experiences that tested your strength and resilience to the limit. I personally can't imagine how it was in parts of the health service at that time, but there have been enough reports for us to recognize the difficulty that you will all have faced. And that was after you'd managed to cope with what all of our students had to go through in the transitions that we had to put in place within your academic studies. As a university, we had to pivot very quickly into using online education in a way that we had never done at scale before. To keep going with your studies at a time of such huge uncertainty and stress that was in all around you is a major achievement. You may well feel that you missed out on things, and there is no doubt that you did miss a lot on social interactions that are a really important part of university life. But I'd like you to remember that you've also learned a lot from the experience that you've had, and you have a real chance to stand out from the crowd in many aspects of life. Now, I am in no way undermining how hard it was for you, and none of us would have wished that on you. especially at a time when life was becoming difficult and times were hard. But the adaptability, the resilience, and the determination that was needed to get you through your degree was astonishing. In a life when all of those things were needed and will be needed, you've been there and you've done it, and you have got through those things, and when things get tough in the future, you will have shown yourself to be capable of responding in such ways. Now, I'm going to ask you to forgive me for 1 minute. My glasses are steaming up. This is what ties are for, in case you've forgotten from lockdown. Okay, hopefully that will help. I also hope that you recognize the efforts of the staff that Keele have exerted in order to help you through your degree. They also had to change very quickly during COVID and were often coping with difficult domestic situations while quickly and dramatically changing the way that education was being delivered. Our educators continue to receive national recognition in all sorts of ways, and I'm pleased that we've once again performed exceptionally well in the National Student Survey. I'm certainly very proud of our staff and the way that they have coped with this, and I think and I suspect that you indeed appreciate this as well. This is also reflected in the progress that we as a university have maintained during the last few years. The opening of the new Harper School Vet School with first students in 2020 and a new building in 2021 is a huge step forward for Keele. And the development of an energy park with 2 wind turbines and 12,000 solar panels is important not only to the university in that it will provide over 50% of our electricity, but also to society more broadly as part of the fight towards a net zero economy. Also in that regard, High Deploy was an experiment that we used the whole campus for. We tested whether 20% hydrogen could be introduced into the gas supply. It can, and it can safely, and it can without the consumer really noticing the difference. So that is now being rolled out in communities in different parts of the country. We've also developed campus further, and although sadly not in time for your time at Keele, the opening of the new chapters areas in Chancellor's building, and in what I have to say by some has been described as possibly the most important advances at Keele for years, we managed to open a co-op and a Greggs. I also find it fascinating that it's time to reflect on some of the achievements of our students outside the classroom. And in some cases, that's been working through the Student Union and the KPA. The volunteering to support the vulnerable in the early stages of COVID lockdown, to the collection for refugees in Ukraine, shows the social conscience that exists and is strong within our student body. Schemes to help local businesses, and indeed those businesses and charities not so local, have been taking place all through COVID. And for example, the team will be going out from Keele in the summer to help poorer communities in the Caribbean. The staff at Keele are always very proud of our students and our alumni, but the respect that we have for you all is even greater than normal. And I'm sure that those of you who are family and friends of our graduates are also brimming with pride today. And therefore, before we go any further, can I, on behalf of our graduates, thank you, the friends and families, as well as the staff of the university, for supporting all of our students during their time at Keele. Today, you can be very proud of your own achievements. Even beyond the COVID experience, all of you have been on a big adventure that will have challenged the way you think, taught you new skills, opened up new worlds, and set new horizons. You will also have undergone this huge transition alongside students, either physically or remotely, from every part of society in the UK and indeed from many parts of the world. It is important to us that we do have that diversity here on campus, and it's not unusual for us to have over 100 countries represented on campus through the staff and student communities. Education is a critical mediator of understanding of other cultures, and this is even more important when the biggest challenges of all that we face in society can only be solved through collaboration on a global scale. This is not always easy, but I hope that we've helped you develop a sense of critical evaluation that will allow you to take informed viewpoints and will help you to thrive in a world where global travel may be affected for a long time after COVID, but that global interactions will be critical for a peaceful and an equitable world. It is with this aim of impacting the future of society around the world that here at Keele we're putting significant attention to new research institutes that are aimed at addressing 4 of the biggest challenges that we face as a global population. These are social inclusion, sustainable futures, and global health, also recognizing the increasingly digital society that we live in. We have literally hundreds of our staff performing leading research in these areas, and we expect these institutes to have a real impact on society. As I've said, we clearly hope that the environment that you've been in here at Keele has prepared you to thrive in that global environment. This background will help you play your part in meeting these big challenges and taking the opportunities that they present with it, and to do that with a confidence that will see you continue the tradition of Keele students having a genuine impact on society. This may be through the professional lives that you undertake or through the way you live your own lives at a personal level. Looking after your own health, reducing the adverse effect that you have on the planet, and showing respect and concern for those in less privileged positions than yourselves are all important parts of being players in a forward-looking and civilized society. The months and years ahead might well challenge some of these core beliefs, but by working together with others and providing support to one another in a way that has got you through your degrees here, addressing the challenges that you've already faced in your professional lives, will provide you with that framework for success. That mutual support between students and between staff and students is often quoted as one of the biggest things that make Keele that bit different from other universities as part of the Keele difference, and you are all well prepared. The Keele difference that relates to the original education concepts that are associated with being a strong anchor institution in the region and being a university that believes in an education that prepares our students with a breadth of knowledge and a set of skills that will allow you to thrive in a very complex and uncertain global environment. It's important to us that we've provided you with that education that not only makes you experts in your chosen subjects, but it gives you a range of experience and skills that will make you very attractive to employers throughout your career. You have experienced a rate of change that feels unusual, but it's likely that it will become the norm. And these skills that have seen you through the tests of the last couple of years have made you adaptable to those changes. Getting information isn't the problem these days. What we do with the information is the skillful bit, and we've given you and taught you how to do that. We are already beginning to see how automation and artificial intelligence is affecting some parts of society, and this will then change the employment landscape dramatically over your lifetime. In 20 years' time, many of you will be doing jobs that haven't been even invented yet. So, contrary to the opinion in some parts of government, we aren't here just to train you for your first job. We are here to teach you the skills and to be adaptable to the world as you will find it over your lifetime. The ability to analyze complex problems, the ability to continue learning new approaches, the ability to work with a variety of people with different skills, abilities, and from different cultures, the confidence to address the unknown and to solve problems whenever they occur. These are all things that you have learned, and they will things that will stand you in good stead as you go forward. So when the situations change, the value of a university education is to put you in a position where you can adapt to these challenges and thrive in a modern world as you find it. The world will continue to change, but as graduates, you have developed the skills to help you thrive in it. But it also means that you will need a personal commitment to continuing to learn throughout your life. For some of you, today marks the end of your formal education, but it cannot be the end of your learning process. Sometimes it will be tough, but you should have the confidence and the skills that you've learned here that will set you up in a good place for whatever challenges you have to face. This is a university that we hope you will continue to be proud to be associated with, and that you will continue to think of as part of your personal future. You now join over 80,000 Keele alumni in all corners of the globe. Alumni demonstrate great value to each other and to the next generation of students through their networks and their links back to Keele. Please do therefore keep in touch. Make sure we have your contact details, sign up for the Alumni Association, and come back to visit, and think about how you might want to give back your experiences to future student groups. You won't be surprised to hear me say that we also hope that you all get very, very rich. And if you do, then please do remember which university you went to. But your time and your experience is also highly valuable to us, and you may well feel that you wish to partner with us on various projects in the future. So that's it. You've made it. You've had to wait a while to celebrate it, but you are leaving here with a qualification that cannot be taken away from you, one that people will respect the world over and that will open doors and opportunities for you. But you now need to make it work for you. You can afford to be ambitious. Indeed, you owe it to yourself to be ambitious. It will be tough sometimes, but if you don't stretch yourself and reach for what you really want, you will always regret it. I hope you, our next generation of graduates, will have seen yourselves as part of a thriving university that has valued your presence, and you can now go out there and make a real difference. So with that, can I, on behalf of Keele University, give you, our newest graduates, our heartiest congratulations and wish you good health, great happiness, and every success in everything that you now do. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you these candidates who have been found worthy to be admitted to the degrees for which they have been awarded. For the degree of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, Stephen Alexander Mohammed Abdallah. Liam James Adams. Sadia Ahmed. Lois Aikens. Elizabeth Akintola. Sana Ali. Zainab Mohammed Talak Al-Shamari. Shah Jahan Aslam. Sarah Jane Aspland. Elizabeth Mary Attia. Huma Ayab. Hasib Hassan Aziz. Sarah Aziz. Louise Alice Baker. Cara Louise Bardolia. Paul Allen Beanie. Ruksar Bibi Sharmeen Bilontali. Thomas Per Bestwick. Jessica Alice Christine Byerlin. Farhat Bibi. Rebecca Jo Black. Sophia Claire Henriette Brenyak. Sarah Brookshaw. Marcus Robert Brumpton. Emma Louise Bunn. Annabelle Marie Butcher. Ellen Rose Cash. Holly Elise Chadwick. Sophie Eleanor Chamberlain. James Chambers. Taya Elizabeth Chapman. Andrew Richard Crisp. Elliot Morgan Christian. Rebecca Amy Clifford. Sarah Elizabeth Coates. Samuel George Coleman. Matthew Charles Corns. Jason Cottle. Zainab Badraldin Ahmed Dafala. Victoria Elizabeth Davis. Sandeep Kaur Desi. Celia Dick. Mehmet Dogan. Freya Campbell Dolson. Hawis Mererit Evans. Samuel Allen Freeborn. Sam William Gardner. James Goody. Charlotte Raymer Greenall. Victoria Greenwood. Jack Grishard. Azra Hamdani. Abriz Hamad. Ari Hawazi. Adam John Edward Hayes. Jordan James Raymond Higgs. Brittany Lee Hillman. Camilla Alice Howe. Harpriel Kaur Hunjan. Sophia Iqbal. Shanuka Tahani Pereira Jayatunga. Don Yashasvi Indiwara W. Jayawardena. Karis Mayor John. Maeve Johnston. Ruth Jones. Samuel Kalu. Zaha Kamran Siddiqui. Shruti Kanathan. Jamima Karim. Kieran Asher Kaur. Sophie Eleanor Kay. Alex William Kelly. Alison Barbara Kemp. Sarah Jane Keskes. Stacey Ann Knight. Anna Kremneva. Bravian Kulandra Raja. Matthew Cunnell Jomon. Mariam Latif. Sean Ryan Lee. Abhinaya Lingaswaran. William Ashley Ethan London Smith. Dare McCormack. Abdullah Manzoor. Jamie Brooke Marshall. Miral Mashoud. Humaira Master. Helen Judith McCready. Fanula Catherine McGrade. Peggy Catriona McKellar. Beth Louise McMahon. Yakna Mehta. Caroline Joyce Millett Spicer. Musa Walid Mohammed. Jacqueline Ijeoma Monique. Connor James Stewart Moore. Ellen Sarah Morris. Fatima Musavi Porgabi. Melissa Nagar. Mariam Nazim. Charlotte Anna Newell. Hong Yu Ngu. Ewan Edward George Nichols. Annabelle Jean Nichols. Rosie Louise Otum. Jacob Ogunti Mayhem. Francis Leonard Lewis Chukwuma Osuji. Avinash Singh Panesar. Rachel Partakis. Rundeep Pawar. Previn Philippia, Annabelle Pileka, Lucy Poynton, Emily Charlotte Pontin, Maria Elaine Prail, Charlotte Primavesi, Jaskiran Purawal, Abira Kayum, Mariam Ralph, Grace Emily Helen Raybold, Bariah Raymond, Lucy Ann Raypond, Charlotte Deborah Reed, Daniel Robbins Piotrowski, Benjamin John Rowlands, Sreya Maria Sam, Anjali Sita, Sarah Aksa Shaheen, Mohammed Osman Sharif, Ferber Sherpa, Thomas James Shevlin, Sandesh Shrestha, Halima Siddiq, Tanya Sikand, Edmund Jeremy Sims, Saber Sirajuddin, James Alexander Smith, Robert David Forbes Smith, Emily Rihanna Snow, Matthew Stevenson, William Swadling, Isabella Dorothy Taverner, Bryony Charlotte Thomas Noy, Joseph Patrick Eugene Toner, Lee Dawn Torre, Vishal Tripathi, Jessica Elizabeth Asher Upperday, Rayvanth Varathan, Bjorn Cameron Varda, and the winner of the Neil and Gina Smith Student of the Year Award, which we'll be coming to for 2020-21, Jenna Elizabeth Volpert. Alexander Michael Walmsley, Ben Christopher Walters, Sarah Wazin, Aidan Jonathan Watson, Eve Watson, Luke Weston. Jonathan David White. Amy Louise Whitworth. Amber Charlotte Elizabeth Wiles. Abigail Jane Williams. Anthony Wright. Molly Weecher. Elefaria Xilas. Hannah Marie Yellop. Gregory James Young. Syed Mohammed Imran Zaidi. Well done, all of you. Now we move on to the posthumous award of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery to Megan Jenkinson. Many of the medical graduates and staff, sorry, you'll have to bear with me, here will remember Megan and will share my sense of privilege in us coming together today to award her MBCHB posthumously. We'll be awarding it to her family who are with us, and some members of the family will come up onto the stage. Some members of the family here. And just briefly, Megan became unwell in 2018, but through quite inspirational levels of determination and courage, she continued her studies until a few months before her death in 2021. She was a medical student until the end. Megan was an extraordinary student, and she would have made a wonderful doctor. Her impact on many of you here, including staff and graduates, staff such as me, that impact means that her legacy is actually very concrete. How we practice as doctors, how we live our lives, is strongly influenced by role models. And Megan was one of those. She was an inspirational role model for me and for many of you here. I've seen several faces as you've been coming up who I know were very close to Megan and who gave her a lot of support. So Megan was an inspiration, and now is our time to pass Megan's award to her family. And so I think if you would like to come. Well done, boys. Now, I want us to do what Megan would have wanted and to celebrate the success of the students who are about to join us on stage. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, Arif Ali. Megan Beth Anderson. Chloe Jade Ball. Chloe Louise Bishop. Alana Bradshaw. Sorry, I'm just using two lists. I've just got to change because there's some change of names, so I'm just checking I'm on the right one. Tino Tenda Melissa Chitazumu. Jasmine Mariah Cotterill. Evie Iris Daniel. Victoria Egan. Khadija Farhat. Lauren Flood. Cynthia Gomez Monteiro. Charlie Marie Jackson. Victoria Lillis. Michaela Page Lomas. Hannah Louise Martin. Mia Louise Moore. Ella Olivia Moores. Gurpreet Singh Pahal. Cassidy Parton. Charlotte Susan Ramatala Davenhill. Shannon Sahota. Maria Sutton. Linda Tapu Mapie. And now the winner of the award for the best overall performance in social work 2020-21, Olivia May Terry. Leona Rochelle Thomason. May I ask the students who have just been conferred to stand?
By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor, I admit you to the degree for which you have been presented.
Please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you, in absentia, those candidates who appear listed in the programme who are not present.
By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor, I admit them to the degree for which they are listed.
Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, I'm delighted to announce the winner of the Neil and Gina Smith Student of the Year Award which was open to all undergraduate final year students at Keele, and includes a financial reward to recognise the winning students' outstanding achievements during their time at Keele. I'm delighted to speak about our winner, Jenna Volpert, who studied medicine here at Keele. Jenna's success recognises her consistent academic efforts in what is a very intense programme to start off with, but with specific additional achievements, including a prestigious award of first prize from the Royal College of GPs for a quality improvement project that contributed to a change in GP practice to benefit patients post-operatively. As a medical student, Jenna was one of the many Keele students that stepped up to help the NHS frontline response to the COVID-19 pandemic, something I know she felt passionately about. As well as her academic success, Jenna has exceeded in her extracurricular activities. Being supported by Keele's talented athletes programmes, she has represented both Keele's women's and the English University's hockey team. She has also pursued her passion for promoting equality in roles such as President of Students for Global Health, founder of Women in Surgery Keele, and as a student ambassador on the Medical School Exclusivity Committee. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Jenna Volpert, recipient of the Neil and Gina Smith Student of the Year Award.
Well done, Jenna. Now, today we celebrate the success of all our undergraduate and postgraduate graduates across all the courses of the school. And it's actually quite a historic day for us because we're actually getting to celebrate the graduates from across our new merged school. One of the reasons why Professor Mallon is desperate, or was desperate to be here and has been watching us from his sickbed, is that today actually marks quite a sort of historic moment when we can celebrate across different courses and across undergraduate, postgraduate. It's absolutely wonderful. I was a little emotional earlier. I've been pretty emotional all the way through because it is absolutely amazing. Now, as part of that celebration of all of your success across all the courses, one of the things that we do is for those of you who've graduated as medical doctors, and all staff, family, friends, anyone in the tent essentially who's medically qualified, if you want to join us in a moment, we'll be standing to declare the affirmation together. Now, this is an important act for those of you who have become doctors. It's a symbolic act, as well as the words are really important. They define how we live our lives as doctors, how we perform our roles. But in saying the words together, what we're doing is establishing you as the next chain in the link that goes back about 100 generations to when Hippocrates first wrote the oath on which this affirmation is based. Now that chain that goes back to Hippocrates is multi-stranded, and it includes Islamic medicine, Persian medicine, Indian medicine, multiple strands that go back and have created the medicine that we practice today. So, if I could invite graduates who have become doctors, who have been doctors actually for a while, and to stand so that we'll declare the oath. Now, some of you actually had the experience of me doing this online with you the last couple of years, where it was a complete cacophony in our informal farewells to you. Today, it'll probably still be a cacophony, but it will be special. So well done to everyone in the room, and for the medical graduates, if you'd like to stand, and any family members who want to join in. You'll see, and staff, you should see the affirmation. So try and follow me, but I know it won't work. So, I affirm that I will make the care of my patients my first concern, treat every patient politely and considerately, respect patients' dignity and privacy, listen to the patients and respect their views, give patients information in a way they can understand, respect the right of patients to be fully involved in decisions about their care, keep my professional knowledge and skills up to date, recognize the limits of my professional competence, be honest and trustworthy, respect and protect, make sure my personal beliefs do not prejudice my patients' care, act quickly to protect my patients from risk if I have good reason to believe that I or a colleague may not be fit to practice, avoid abuse of my position as a doctor, work with colleagues in the ways that best serve patients' interests. In all these matters, I will never discriminate unfairly against my patients or colleagues. I will always be prepared to justify my actions to them. Well done. So my final words were, please be seated, but as so often in your careers, you were ahead of me, so.
This is indeed a day of celebration, and for many of you, a long time coming. So let us pause in a moment of reflection or prayer according to your practice or belief. We give thanks for our university and recommit ourselves to its mission, that the tasks of education and research may continue to be carried out with integrity. We give thanks for the vision of our founding principal, Lord Lindsay, who directed that Keele exist for the pursuit of truth in the company of friends. The university's foundation also drew on the historic motto of the Sneed family, to thank God for all. May that spirit of friendship and thankfulness continue to be fostered by all at Keele. We give thanks for our graduates as they conclude this stage of their education. May their skills and qualifications be used for good in their communities and beyond. We give thanks for all staff who have taught and supported them in their learning. May they know the lasting impact their work has had and the change that they have enacted in the lives of our graduates. We give thanks for our families and friends present here and around the world. Let us acknowledge with gratitude the love, care, and encouragement that they have given and continue to show towards our students. May we look with hope to the future, that the successes of this university and its graduates might continue to grow, that the gifts we celebrate today will be used fruitfully, that the world may become a better place. May I invite you all to please stand.
Graduates of Keele University, can I congratulate you once again? Can I hope that you will continue to be astounding ambassadors for this university, that you will keep in touch, and most of all, you have a fantastic day today. I declare the congregation closed.